All right, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. I am seeing some of the reports from the media day. I didn't get a chance to watch the media thing because I was busy doing a football video. That's the consequences of trying to run two channels at once, but that's okay. We're here. Camp is tomorrow. And I guess the two bigger things that we've heard so far, obviously, Kachuk mid-December ish. Okay. That sounds about a little early, but all right. And Nosek doesn't sound good. Sounds like he's going to be out several months. So who knows what he did. I don't necessarily have an issue with that in the sense that Nosek is not a young guy. And he did get some time off last year towards the end of the season, beginning of the playoffs. Point being is that I don't mind him being just the guy that we get around time for the playoffs, and he's fresh and rested and healthy. I think we'll be just fine without him during the regular season. Now, who takes that spot? That could explain some of the PTOs, and we have to look at the training camp roster and see what's going on there. Because if Kachuk is coming back in mid-December, that gives us October, November. It gives us 3 months, 3 months to sort out whatever we're going to do with Rodriguez and I assume Boquist. And with Nosek out and the knee, well, how much cap relief are you going to get from Nosek? Are we going to get enough cap relief from Nosek to keep Boquist when Kachuk comes back? Hey, Hungry Colin, how we doing, buddy? That's something we need to look at. Would we get enough cap relief? What's Nosek at? I don't think we would. I don't think we would get enough cap relief from Nosek to keep Boquist at 4C when Kachuk comes back. I don't think so, but let's look at that. We're just going to leave the glasses on here today because I have a feeling that we are going to be. Let's move this camera over here, and we'll move the mic, and let's just do this a little bit differently today. So let's go to our cap situation because that's really the first question here. Is Nosek has got what? Because if you put Nosek 775, so no. The only way you get enough relief from Nosek to keep Boquist is you'd have to drop Petrie. You'd have to drop Petrie and just go with 6 on D. And if somebody got hurt, you'd have to bring up somebody from the AHL under emergency circumstances. It gets so confusing, but we'll have to work on that. Hey, Jameson. Yeah, we're in our own unique type of cap hell right now. But, when you're also trying to win your third cup in a row, right? It's like, can you call it hell? Right? So we're 4.5 ahead. So if you take Nosek out, if you moved on from Petrie, which I know kind of would suck because you just signed him. So I don't know really what you're going to do there unless you're going to trade him. If you put Nosek on LTIR, and let's say he's not going to come back till way later. If you just went with a 6, so Ekblad, Forsling, Jones, Mikula, Kulikov, Balinskis, and traded Petrie for a bag of peanuts, you could keep Boquist to run 4C while Nosek was out, and you might end up with him for the rest of the year. Because with whatever Nosek is going on, it doesn't sound good the way that Zito put it. Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. And that's the other thing. Let me look at the they announced if you look at the training camp roster, like there's a lot of PT. By the way, did you all hear that Samoskevich is going to be number 11 now? So look at this. Where's the training camp roster? Did I see it on the Panthers or did I see it on George Richards? Here we go. Yeah, understand the cookies. So where's the roster? Oh no, that's the rookie tournament. Come on, guys. All right, I think I saw it on George's thing. Let's see. I'm trying to find the Let me get back to the chat here for a second because I'm not finding the roster really good. Jameson, yeah, everybody's talking about with Samo's move to 11, and they're all like, hey, but, we thought maybe we'd put Huberdeau in the rafters. And I'm like, did y'all forget about Billy Lindsay? Did y'all forget about Billy Lindsay, right? Yermak says, who cares what happens in February? This is hockey. Someone else will get hurt and take their turn on LTIR. Well, the thing is Zito is saying Tkachuk is going to come back in December. He's saying he's looking at mid-December for Chucky. So we're going to have to solve that problem then. We're going to have to solve our problem. I had it this morning. I had the roster this morning. Here we go. Okay. There was a whole graphic. Why do they keep giving me? Here's the roster. Okay, click here instead of just giving me an image. So we've got, here, let me share this. Hold on. What the hell is that? Oh, PDF, I see. Okay. So if you look at the PTOs, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 PTOs. I can't remember. Is that all of them? Wait, 12. This is a wild roster. 12 PTOs. 12. Now, let's see. How many centers do we have on PTO here? We've got a left wing. We've got left wing. We've got left wing. Left wing. What? Do we have any right-handers on it? No, I see. They're defensemen. I'm looking for any centers. Well, they don't have them listed as center. They just have forward and D. So I can't tell you if the guys on PTOs are centers because they just have forward or defenseman. They don't have center listed. So that's a little bit disappointing. Sherry says, TSN says the Leafs are the only ones in the Atlantic that can take out the Cats this year. I'm not so sure I agree with that. I think the only thing that could take out the Panthers is injuries. So, yeah, Strafossi says, what's the fourth line without Nosek? And that's a question. That is a question because until Tkachuk comes back, you're probably just going to have Boquist at 4C. unless we're going to move on from Boquist. I have a feeling that it makes sense to me. I could be wrong here, but it makes sense to me that maybe we don't make any of the moves we have to make until we absolutely have to make them. So as long as Tkachuk is out, we don't technically have to do anything. If Nosek is out, the day that Tkachuk comes back, you got to basically move Rodriguez and somebody with a minimum wage salary. So you wouldn't absolutely have to move Boquist if you wanted to move Petrie. There's nobody else. You're not going to move Gadjevich or Greer. I don't think that would be what we would do. I think if we were gonna go that route, maybe you just move Petrie and just go with Balinskis at 6. And then if somebody gets hurt, you have to bring somebody up from the AHL. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a little bit fuzzy there. But for right now, I think the season starts if we don't trade Boquist. I would assume he would be at 4C, right? And then if we do move Boquist, let's look at the roster. I mean, if we do move Boquist, Petraro, yeah, Darren Waller is a waste of space, man. I don't know if these guys are centers or not. Ben Harper, these are the PTO's forwards. Hunter Johannes, Tyler Mott. Can he play center? Noah Gregor, Nolan Foote, and no, that's a defenseman. Daniel Walcott, Joseph Lopina, Corey Andovnosky. Those are the forwards that are on PTOs. The only name I even come close to recognizing is, I believe, Tyler Mott, right? Is he a center? He's not real big. Oh, wait a minute, Kunin. Tyler Mott is the center. Tyler Mott is the center. He's been around and around and around. Definitely a 4-flying guy. He's not played a ton of games. His face-off percentage, he must not take face-offs because his face-off percentage is all over the place. So he must not be playing as a center, even though he's listed as a center. Maybe Kunin. And maybe this is explaining the Kunin move a little bit here. Now, Kunin, definitely, he looks like he might be the fit. He looks like, now that I'm thinking about it, I think we forgot about Kunin. That it could explain why we picked him up. His face-off percentage is not spectacular. The years that he's played a lot of games, and in Nashville, he played 82 games, 44%. San Jose, he played 77 games, 45.6%. The following year, he was 47.3%. So he's not spectacular in the face-off circle for sure. But that might be the way we go. Patel, it takes 2 days for YouTube to process all the information. So yesterday's stream was what, Tuesday? So I probably won't know what the ad revenue was on that video until tomorrow at the earliest. But I've got it on this video too. So we'll have 3 or 4 days of information by the time we get to next Tuesday. Hey, thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Jameson says Mott was awesome in the bubble for Vancouver 5 years ago. Yeah, I think that was the one name I remembered. I appreciate that, Patel. Hey, thank you, Eyes. Thank you, Bud. Thank you, Eyes. He says, since Congress passed the bill for no tax on tips, are the super chats I send you now tax-free? You know, that's a really interesting thought, but I probably doubt it. It's probably, I don't know. I mean, they weren't this year, but that's a really good question. I never thought about that. Thank you, Eyes. Appreciate that. Can Gregor play center? Let's see. I've heard that name before, I thought. He's at least got some size. It doesn't look like he takes a lot of face-offs. They've got him listed at left wing. And from what I'm seeing here, he must not take very many face-offs. So I don't like he played 63 games with Toronto in 23-24. His face-off percentage was 58.3. I need to look at the deeper though. I need to find how many face-offs did he take that year. Let me look and see, get somewhere where we got a little bit more of his in-depth. Let's find his analytics and see. Here, go to Puckpedia. I should be able to get the information. Here, stats. This is his contract stuff. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not seeing here how many face-offs he took. Here we go. Let's try Elite Prospects and see if I can get if I get a better thing here. Let's see. Oh, come on. I don't want to pay for anything. Who am I looking for? Gregor, right? There we go. Okay. They got me. Here we go. Yeah, he can take face-offs. Kind of think about we used to have somebody that would like Rodriguez doesn't take a ton of face-offs, but he can. Hey, Windy City. Matthew, yeah, I'm definitely excited about Cup number 3. Hey, Matthew, I didn't get the flag out yet. I'm trying to remember to get it out today, so I don't want you to expect it. I'm trying to remember it, but I forgot the couple of days. But it's on my pack and ship table to go. It's right here, ready to go. So hopefully today is the day I will remember, Matthew. Yeah, it probably would count as income and not tips, most likely. No tax on tips and overtime is a maximum of 12.5. Nice. David, yeah, just saw Chucky out until December and Nosek out indefinitely. Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out is who's going to be at 4C. But I kind of, when I'm looking at it, I kind of feel like Kunin seems like he'll be that guy. There's so much that's up in the air. There's so much that's up in the air because just not knowing what we might, knowing that we're going to have to move players to clear up cap at some point. There's just so much up in the air. It's really, I hate that. I don't want to say it like I'm ready for, how can I put this? Like whatever moves we're going to have to make, I wish we would just make them. You know what I mean? But again, we all know if somebody else gets hurt, right? And if somebody especially gets hurt for the rest of the season, which we don't want to happen, Nosek being out, he's a good player for us, a big part of our success. And it's not like there's a lot of cap relief there. I think somebody asked me up above if I thought what I thought about the Spencer Knight contract. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I kind of feel like it's more than he's earned, but bad teams, as Panthers know, bad teams have to pay players a little bit extra sometimes to get them to stick around. And so you kind of have to think of it from Chicago's perspective of, could Spencer Knight, if Spencer Knight played really well this year, let's say he plays 50 games and he, has a goals against, under 2.5, 2.6 save percentage, 905, 915. Like if he shows that kind of development and being consistent, and then he goes to market, somebody might be willing to throw that kind of money at him. So I think right now for what Knight has earned, it's probably a bit high, but the chances are if he continues to develop, I wouldn't necessarily say it could be a bargain, but if they are serious about building a team out there that can win, you can't just let somebody like Spencer get offer sheeted and tossed out the door. So I think it's a good deal, everything into consideration, because this gives Chicago 3 years to prove to Spencer that they can build a team that he's going to want to stay at long term. Hey, Mr. Vince, how you doing, bud? Kazuma, do I see Knight coming back? No. I'm kind of high on Cooper Black right now. I'm definitely wanting to see how he can develop. I mean, it's 6'8", 223. I'm kind of all in on him right now as the future guy. And with Bob's comments I saw before I came on here, it doesn't sound like he wants to even talk about the contract or anything like that. What did he say? He says what happens next year has no bearing on what happens this year. That was the gist of what he says. So I don't know. I've always kind of been in the camp that I thought Bob would extend, but I suppose the possibility exists if we win 3 in a row that he might be like, I'm out. You know what I mean? I mean, stranger things have happened. So I'm interested to see how they can do with Tarasov. And I'm looking forward to seeing Cooper Black develop. And hopefully he's like the guy at the AHL level this year. Sel says, if you send a Cash App or Venmo, you may be able to do a deduction for gifting someone money. Yeah. It's the government finds a way to get their money. Missed the vids. Yeah, the Sunday game. It was a fun game. It didn't end the way we hoped, but yeah, it was definitely a fun game. Yeah, Mr. Vids, I hear you there, brother. I hear you there, man. That's for sure. Sherry, I agree. He'll retire. I don't think he'll go anywhere else. I think for Bob, the decision for him is just if he wants to continue. And maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe, he seems like a very smart, prudent, forward-thinking guy in the sense that he's not going to try to guess how his body is going to be after another season. So I don't know. But we're playing with all the house money at this point. We've got 2 cups in a row, and we're trying to piece it together for a third. And so I kind of agree with his sentiment about, like, hey, look, what happened? Don't even worry about next year. You know what I mean? We're trying to do something that's extremely special right now. What? Oh, Ricardo says 915 on Chicago would be wild. Yeah, what was Knight's numbers last year? How did he do with Chicago? Let me see. I know he started off like a bat at it. He started off fantastic the first couple of games. So let's see what he did last year. He finished in Chicago. So with Florida, the 23 games with Florida, this shows you how defense matters, people. In Spencer's 23 games with Florida, he was a 2.40 and a 9.07. In his 15 games with Chicago, he was a 3.18 and an 8.96. Now, he doesn't suddenly suck. You know what I mean? He did not suddenly suck. And those numbers are worse than game logs. Because when he was with Chicago, the first couple of games, here we go. His first 2 games, he allowed 1 goal in his first game. Let's see, he allowed 1 goal in his first game. Yeah, and then that was it. He allowed 3, 2, 3, and then it kind of 6 goals, 2, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 1, 5, 4, 3. Tough, man. In some of these games, like, he's allowing 4 goals against Winnipeg. He still had a 905 save percentage. Like, the amount of shots he's facing in some of these games is wild. His first game, though, he had that 42 goal or 42 saves and only allowed the 1 goal. So, yeah, 915 for a full season on Chicago. I agree. That would be, I think, wild is an accurate description there. Hey, thank you, Windy City. Thank you, bud. Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. He says Knight's a core member already. They've been promoting him with Bedard, Nazar, and Vlasic already. Yesterday starts the 100th at Union Station party for fans. Good to hear that. We all want him to do well. I mean, there was multiple times before we turned into what we turned into, where we thought Spencer was taking over for Bob. Those first couple of years of Bob's contract, he was not playing well, and Knight would come in and look pretty good. And we thought, okay, this is it. And then they would just consistently give the job right back to Bobrovsky, and all of a sudden Bob would start playing better. So Spencer, he's got his opportunity now for sure. And yeah, the difference in his numbers between the 2 defenses is crazy. So, I mean, it's a bit much, 5.8. But you're paying for potential there. You know what I mean? Like, you look at what Ekblad's contract was at the 7.5. That was a long contract when Talon gave him that deal. If Ekblad wouldn't have gotten injured and would have really turned into the type of defenseman, the 2-way defenseman we thought he was going to be, that 7.5 would have been almost a deal. You know what I mean? And that's what Talon tried to do with Matheson. But he gave Matheson his money far too soon. But that worked out for us because we ended up with Hornquist out of it. So that worked out for us there. But I think Knight will do well. I think the 3 years is the right amount of time. Windy City says the Blackhawks have the youngest defense in the NHL, so it's going to be a developmental year on the blue line. Yeah, just hopefully they don't, Spencer's going to have some games, right? He's getting trial by fire now, but I think he probably embraces it because, there was no less. He even came into the playoffs, right? And almost saved that series against Tampa. And so there had to be at least 3 times in his head where he thought, okay, I'm getting a real chance to be the guy. And even when he would perform well, the coaches would give Bobrovsky back the job, understandably now, right? But Spencer kind of got put through it a little bit, and we know he had the player assistance program. And I've always kind of felt like his situation contributed to that because he got drafted and he was immediately blocked by Bobrovsky. And so if you were in Spencer's position, you knew there was pretty much, it wasn't you. What was he going to do to unseat a $10 million goalie? Because if your $10 million goalie is playing so poorly that a rookie or a young goalie can take over the job, then you're not trading that $10 million goalie. And so he immediately came into a situation where there was a giant wall where he just knew he wasn't probably going to get a real chance to do what he's doing now in Chicago. David, yeah, it's not real bad. The weather's not real bad. It's kind of been just schmutzy, a little bit of wind and rain, light rain. It's nice. It's 62. It's cloudy. We got the windows open. It's comfortable in the house. We had the windows open last night. So, but yeah, it's been nice. Windy Knight looks like he performs better when he faces a lot of shot. Yeah, the first couple of years, that was always our thing with him, was like there was a lot of games he was letting the first shot of the game in, or like one of the first 2-3 shots of the game in. He was pretty consistent, and then he'd get better as the game went on. Trey, 91 in Houston. Yikes. So I says if Mackey wears number 11, does that mean we can't retire Huberdeau's number? So it's interesting because I commented about this on Twitter because I saw a lot of people asking about the thing with Huberdeau. And what I tried to remind everybody was that forget the fact that that was Huberdeau's number. That was Billy Lindsay's number. And to me, if anybody contributed to the team in a level that the number would have or should have been retired, to me, and I Billy and I are friends, so I'm biased here, but I think Lindsay was a more important piece than Huberdeau from the perspective of, he significantly contributed to the playoff success. If you watch the highlights from any of the 95, the run to the cup, when I was putting that video together, Billy Lindsay was all over those highlights, making plays all over the ice. Vincent says, you just said about defense, Panthers D under Q is a shit show. No, but I'm saying, I'm talking about, Vincent, I'm talking about this past year where Spencer Knight, looked great with the Panthers and then not so much with Chicago. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and Huberdeau wasn't getting his number retired anyway. Yeah. Lindsay scored the goal. He was instrumental in multiple important goals. I didn't realize how many goals and how many plays he made. But then when I was putting together that video, I watched a lot of him and Jay, and then of course Woolley and Barnes were. A lot of those guys were involved in a lot of plays. Spencer Knight's getting compared to what Lucas Dostal of the Ducks for a contract. That's where I feel he should have been to start from negotiations. It's a little bit less cap, but wish for more term. Yeah, Spencer's got good management. He got 4.5 out of us. I don't know who his agent is, but he has made some decent money based on potential, for sure. For sure. David says, I think Bob's biggest asset is the ability to stay focused and make huge saves when our D is playing so good. He goes a long time in between saves. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. He, especially in the playoffs, how many times the other team doesn't have a shot for 6-7 minutes, and all of a sudden it's a breakaway too. It's not even like all of a sudden he's facing a bunch of shots. It's like nothing and then a breakaway. Exactly, Jameson. Patel, I don't think whose numbers are retired. It's a good question. I don't think Berets is. Zuma says, I'm worried Chucky might come earlier than normal to play in the Olympics and might affect the playoffs. Well, Zito said mid-December. So that's a little bit earlier than I think a lot of us thought, right? If that's the case, I hate to say it. I don't know, man. It's such a game of chicken, right? Because it's so hard to envision a scenario where it's like, okay, Chucky's coming back on Wednesday, so we trade Rodriguez on Tuesday. But that still might be the smartest thing for the team, because what if we trade Rodriguez now and then, Ekblad gets hurt or somebody gets hurt and we wouldn't have had to trade him? It's a weird situation to be in. Vincent says, but it's going to make it easier for everybody to forget that the Huberdeau goal. Yeah, I'll agree with you there. What are the chances of Huberdeau making the Flying Fluffy Hall of Fame? He's still got his spot on the recap room, but that's getting changed. That picture that is of Barkov and Hubert, I'm going to put my Sam Miskevich picture there. Where did I put that? Oh, it's right there. Yeah. Ashley got me, I showed it to you all. It's an artist drawing of Sam Miskevich. And of course, now his numbers changed. So that's good though. It's still a beautiful picture. Vincent or Mr. Vids. Exactly, David. Trey. Oh. We only have the 3 jerseys retired. Right. I believe I still have that, Eyes. I think I know I've got a couple of them. I have a Barkov. I don't know if I have a Huberdeau. David says, from what I read, Chucky has to meet certain criteria along his rehab journey to play. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be wild. Hey, Spaceman. Yeah, I still have. Well, I wouldn't get rid of it, Vincent, because those were gifts. Right? I think I have a Barkov one, Eyes. I'll have to check. I know I've got something downstairs. I'm pretty sure it's a Barkov. I'm pretty sure. You still have the Trocheck cereal box somewhere? Did I have a favorite place to eat at Sawgrass before the games? Not for me. Maybe somebody in the chat. Where we went to dinner at some place with a nice place with and with our whole party there. Hey, Guitar Crow. He says it's gonna feel weird if we don't get a third cup, no parade, no elbow room. It's gonna be a little bit like Chucky said, I could get used to this, right? Yeah, I think I sold I don't know if I sold the Yandel and Ekblad one. I didn't, I think I still have the Yandel and Ekblad one. Yeah, I know, Matthew. The Yandel contract was less than pleasant. We'll put it that way, unfortunately. Hockey says, I always think it's cool when a player changes their numbers for the Blackhawks. Vlasic debuted in 43, but wears 72. They sent the Blackhawks jersey off to give Vlasic 43 to be one of his only fans with a 43. I wonder why Sam Miskevich didn't just take it when he immediately came in last year. I wonder if there was some kind of reasoning there. Eyes. Sarko says, what's a restaurant or fast food most people like, but I don't? Who's overrated? I got a spider right here. Who's overrated? I don't do a lot of fast food. I'll tell you what. When we went to see Donna's mother for her birthday last month, or whenever it was, and we got Arby's. I mean, it was like we each got like the big sandwich with fries and a drink. And it was like $48. It was Arby's. And it was like almost $50. And I just like, I mean, the sandwiches were big, but what in the hell? What are people doing? Like, how are people paying these prices? I don't go to fast food. I don't go out like that. And now I remember why. Now I know why. The McDonald's meals average $10 now. Wendy says maybe the Panthers just gave him his old number. Normally the team just give player random open numbers when called up, and then they switch if they want the number when it. Yeah. Well, I mean, he came in. I mean, it's probably that. I mean, I'm just trying to think of when he first came up. Matthew, I hear you, man. The economy it's rough. David, yeah. I don't do the fast food, but I couldn't believe that. Like, I haven't been to fast food probably before I ate that Arby's. It's been at least, I can count on one hand the time that I've lived in this house, which is 10 years, where I've gotten fast food. I think like one day I went and got McDonald's a long time ago. The Taco Bell was good in Thailand too. The prices are going to be completely different. Greg says Best Ever Food Review does a bunch of reviews in Southeast Asia. It's the only way you could afford it, I guess. I couldn't believe it. I thought she was joking with me. Like each thing was like $13.99 or $14.50. It was, and we didn't even get like the shakes, the whatever they call them. It's not the Frosties, but I'm sure they got some kind of shake there. I says, yeah, they can't afford McDonald's now, right? Yeah, I've been making a lot of stuffed peppers. I've been making a lot of stuffed peppers. It's not all that expensive. It's still not cheap, because for 8 peppers, it's $8, and then the ground chicken is 3 pounds, and that's $15. Then the 3 spice packets, that's $3. It's probably $3 or $4 in cheese. So whatever that adds up to. Like, I don't know, it was like almost like $25. We get 8 peppers out of it. So, then the rice too. It's not so expensive. Greg says most places are forcing people to use apps to get better deals on prices. Yeah. Right? The $5 footlongs, eyes, right? Oh, chuck roast and potatoes and carrots in the slow cooker. Yeah, I've been making ribs in the slow cooker. That's been good. The boneless ribs, though. Boneless ribs. And you just let it soak all freaking day. I won't be eating. I had some basmati rice, Vincent, but I used it all up, and I've got, what's the other kind? There's another kind, jasmine. When COVID hit, we bought several of the, 40, 50-pound bags of rice and put them in the freezers. So I've got rice for days. No, I love this. What's the Panthers public sub? What's on it? Yeah, Matthew. When I start the new show on Tuesday, it's an interesting AI created mashup of the Shield with the old Leaping Panther. I was surprised how well it did. Trey says the Western places in Thailand come out about $1 or $2 cheaper on each item than the USA, which definitely adds up. But the real savings is in local Thai food, getting plates for 20 or 40 both when it used to be 32 for one. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how restaurants stay in business anymore with those prices. And I get it, right? Because like the Dunkin' Donuts, I've cracked the joke, but I mean the Dunkin' Donuts now, I used to say was $18 an hour. The last sign was like $19 an hour to start at Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, so of course everything's going to be through the roof. Kazuma says, so they pay more money in tickets so that players can make more money and stay. No. I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask there. I think we pay enough money in streaming services. I think that's what the fans would be willing to do. I think if the leagues were smart, they'd find a way to just have an all-in-one encompassing stream service where you can get just all the games. You just get all the games. You just pay for it. I feel confident in assuming that a lot of fans would be willing to pay a premium if they knew it was just, you just press the button and it's on your TV and you didn't have to continue to wonder which stupid service it's on tonight. I'm telling you, eventually, I keep saying this, and it's going to happen in football. I guarantee at some point they're going to divide one game between two streaming services, and the first half is going to be on Amazon Prime and the second half will be on YouTube or something. They're going to do it. It's going to happen. Eventually, at some point, there will be games where you need two streaming services to see the one game. I guarantee it. Not a doubt in my mind that they're going to find that and do it. Lexi, you'll turn on the Panthers game, right? Kazuma, it'd be nice to put every game on YouTube. I know. YouTube's picture for the NFL is really good. I got no complaints about the picture quality. That's for sure. And, now that I have the fiber internet, I don't have the same worries that I did where the bird flew over the house or somebody, a tree fell down, knocked down the wire, then we have no internet and all of that. So I don't mind streaming the games now. But I still miss just being able to turn on direct TV and there's the channel. There it is. It's good to go. Zuma says, I wonder what would happen if the NHL took games overseas, especially playoff games, how fans would take it. That's an interesting thing. Interesting point. Because, with football, they've done that, right? They're not playoff games. I don't think you could do it with playoff games. David, Stream East is gone. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the FBI is tackling major issues like that. Yeah, I know. I agree. We're all safer now, David. We're all much safer now from the extremist pirates. Yeah, definitely. We're a much safer world now that you can't just count on. Well, I'll just high seize the game. There'll be sites. I'm not going to lay them out. I'm not saying it. I don't know. We got Amazon tomorrow night, so we're covered that way. We're covered anyway because we got YouTube TV now. So we just ended up just having to pay for what you have to pay for. It's obscene. It's absurd. Is what it is. But so camp starts tomorrow. So I'm hoping that I looked on the Panthers website and on the YouTube channel. I didn't see the recordings, the videos of Media Day. So I'm hoping that they put something out. I know I seen that people were watching it on QAM and Audacity, I think. Now, the Panthers preseason games will be streamed for free by the Panthers. So I believe for those games, I think I'm going to do them in here like I did the rookie tournament games and just share the screen. It gets copyrighted, but I think that makes for a better experience than the games that don't count because you're not as involved in every movement of the puck. You know what I mean? You just kind of enjoying that hockey is back and all of that. So I'm not gonna worry about the copyright thing for the. And what's weird is they're not copywriting it because of the hockey action. They copyright it because of the sound, the music that they're playing. It's interesting. Craig, yeah, it's a better community interaction that way. We couldn't do it, obviously, for the regular season and the playoffs because Colin and I got our thing. But for the preseason, I think that's what we'll do that way. Oh, yeah, David says, possibly an all-time beatdown coming tomorrow night. Buckle up, Finns fans. It's very true. But my picks are coming out. My football picks are coming out actually right after we're done here. Vincent says, game starting times from coast to coast are a mess as they are. How ice advantage on the West Coast turns into preferred start game time for the East Coast winners. Yeah, the start times, they're funky. I'm still pissed about the Tuesday at 5 o'clock. It's absurd. Trey says there were a couple of things different about YouTube in Thailand. Couldn't play videos in the background and skip ad would go into another ad. Both stopped as soon as you were back in the USA. That's interesting. Kazuma says for future tournaments, you commute the game and just commentate to avoid copyright. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I think about that. Yeah, that might work better. Trey, yeah, the most Dolphin thing ever would be to win that game 100%. I don't think they're going to do it. You think about it, the Dolphins are so bad that normally, under normal circumstances, in the fourth quarter of a 1 o'clock September home game, that is traditionally when the other team deteriorates and melts and we take over and find a way to win the game. And the fact that didn't happen, that at no point did you watch that game in the second half and think, whoa, New England must be getting tired because of the heat. That's how bad we were. And unphysical is that we did not make them pay for being out there in that heat at all. 3-zip fins, right? I says you can stream the footage of the game, but you can't stream you and Kyle playing video game Hockey to recreate footage of the game. Yeah, it's. I think I've tried to play. I thought about doing videos with the video games, messing around with that for fun, but I can't. My eyes can't do the. It can't do the video games. It gives me a migraine quick, even with the glasses on. Unfortunately, yeah, the Finns are bad in all three phases of the game. It's bad. It is what it is. I don't know if he's going to get fired. I mean, I think that if we keep that game competitive, like if McDaniel can reasonably convince Ross that we had a chance to win that game late, he might not fire him. Now, if we go 0-4 to the Jets, I think for sure, right? Yeah, I get what you were trying to say, Eyes. Yeah, you can't stream the highlights, but you can stream a video game. Yeah. The highlights, that's a pain in the ass. If I'm going to do anything with highlights, I'm going to make it for the members only. Because the amount of time that it takes to edit those videos and get it to where it's not copyrighted is just so many more hours than if you just don't worry about the copyright. And so to try to build the channel to a certain size, it'd just be smarter for me to not worry about it. Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get those videos done, because sometimes, 5-minute video take you 2 or 3 hours to edit down to where the plays, because you got about 4 seconds of game time, maybe 5. If you start playing 6, 7, 8-second clips, they'll ding it. Bubble Boy Hockey, I have to check that out, Eyes. David. I'll have to check that out, Eyes. All right, everybody, I got to roll. I got a 2 o'clock appointment, and I have to get some lunch. If they put up the media day stuff, I'll try to have some content out with that, because I want to see it. I didn't get a chance to watch it this morning. Kyle will be live for your viewing pleasure on the Dolphins channel at 3. And then tomorrow being Thursday, I'll be back here at noon. Then don't forget, next Tuesday starts the new show. That will be 10 to 1 Monday through Friday. And you guys will be able to click the link and join the show and come on and bitch at me and shoot me the bird and all of that good stuff. So we'll have fun with that. That starts Tuesday, not Monday. Because Monday we're going across the bay to go get the rest of Donna's stuff to finish her moving in here. So, all right. Appreciate all of the support. Thank you all for the super chats. And I shall see you mañana.